go have some fun today. Oh wait, this isn't the right car. Ah, now this is more like it. So, I bet you guys are wondering, Evan, how in the world did you score this deal? How are you driving a Shelby GT500 right now? And what are you doing? Well, first off, today I am going on a Northwest Arkansas cruise with a lot of Scoobaroo buddies of mine. It just so happens that my buddy Scott, who owns this car, decided that he wanted to let me drive it because he wanted his car to go on a cruise. He just wasn't able to drive it. So, long story short, I ended up with the car, and I am now driving this. So, I am making a video regarding the cruise and of this car as well. We've got, just so you guys know, we've got an STI spec Forester. So it's not just the Forester XT, and apparently there aren't many of these in the United States, but it's a USDM STI spec Forester is leading. Behind me I've got a blue Bug-Eye, and then I've got another black WRX, and then we have two 2015 WRXs somewhere back there. We're actually going to meet right now to meet a few other guys. But yeah, so we've got that. We're actually cruising to go cruise to a place where we're going to meet a crew, and then that crew is going to cruise down to the post-cruise crew, and then we're going to cruise down to there, and then we're cruising back with that post-cruise crew to cruise back. Okay. Wow, I just used all of my brain power right there. So, along with the cruise, this is going to be more or less not really a review, but I am going to be giving my opinion about this car, and also talking about it as well, just in general. But I am going to drive the heck out of it and make sure that this car can drive, because I've always wanted to see what a Mustang handles like, and obviously this isn't just a Mustang, but you guys get what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and whenever we start getting to some cool roads, I'll start talking about the handling and just in general on how this goes. And this is going to be like a 3-hour cruise, so I've got lots of time to talk about lots of different things. So there we go. All right, so we're stopped right now. Had some road issues with a lot of cars, but we're good. The STI spec. Got the two WRXs over there, 2015. My ride for the day. And then we got another Bug-Eye, and then another WRX over there. So these guys as well. So yeah, we're just taking a little break, and we'll get back on the road. Very crooked and steep. Next 1 mile.
Yes! Yes, 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 yes!
Here we go. So now we've got a lot smaller, bigger group of people. We finally got to eat food with the Subway. Woohoo, eat fresh in the middle of nowhere. And we've got a bunch more cars now. S2K, a couple more Subarus, same people as before, but then we've got a Genesis and just a ton of stuff. So now we're gonna cruise back. I don't know where the heck we're going, but we're going back on the road, and we're gonna freaking Yeah, it'd be awesome. That's, yep, that's it. So, yeah, let's go.
Spot that has like,
let's just go into the creek.
Everybody say hi.
Hola.
Hola.
Hello.
So we are in Still Creek.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome, along with this, which is also pretty awesome. Lots of cars.
Yeah, I had that conversation the first time. I just messed up. Can jam. Bam. So that's 3 points, and then. Oh, damn. Yeah. Damn.
Nice. VTEC. Just to show you guys one more time how many Subarus are out here. That's not Subaru, but it's pretty awesome. And Mustang. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool what we just did. That was really cool to hang out with those guys for this day. But now that I have driven, I've driven this car for about 100 miles today, I can give you guys a pretty good idea and comparison and kind of a good review on the car. Just kind of what I think, and then just comparing it to, you know, obviously what I'm used to, which would be imports. It's been a very cool. It's been a very cool car to drive. Must admit, it's been really fun. But before I do, I'm gonna take it through some pretty powerful, awesome little turns, and it's gonna be pretty dang fun. So here we go. Lost some traction there. And I just love the whine of this supercharger. It's incredible. Gotta make sure I stay in my lane in this road, because man, this thing likes to lose traction a little bit. Man, I love this. And surprisingly, like this car, well, not surprisingly, but for as much crap as a lot of people give Mustangs, man, for as much crap as people give to these cars, this car can turn like a boss. Now, granted, if I were to compare it to my car, which is kind of hard to compare it to because I've got all-wheel drive, this has got rear-wheel drive, and this has got a lot more power than my car, I honestly like my handling a little bit more in mine. This one seems to be a little bit tail happy, and it's a lot heavier. At least it feels a lot heavier, and there's a lot more roll. But that's also because I've got race suspension on mine as well, in comparison to his. And he's got some springs, and he's got some other minor modifications to the suspension. But this thing handles, and it eats up turns pretty well, and it likes to let go of traction sometimes, which is pretty exciting, pretty dang exciting. And a lot of people have asked me today, because obviously I'm used to driving a Subaru, most of you know that, but a lot of people have asked me, you know, Evan, has this turned you into a V8 guy? Like, do you love V8s now? Actually, no, it hasn't. As much as I love this car, and as much as I love the sound, I love the sound, but I like the sound of European V8s a little bit more, actually. It is a beautiful sound. I love the sound of the supercharger, but, you know, driving this car, driving pretty much the mother of all American V8s, aside from, obviously, a ZR1 or a Hellcat, if you will, it really hasn't turned me into much of a V8 guy. I mean, I love this car, but it's, you know, I would much rather hear an RB26 or a 2JZ or even a 4-cylinder SR or my own Boxer Rumble. It's just, there's something about imports and there's something about turbos that just has this place in my heart that I just absolutely love. Now, don't get me wrong, this is an amazing car, and I would drive this anytime he offered to let me drive this, but I'm still more in favor of the imports. But anyways, giving a general idea about this car, it's a very nice car. It's, on the inside, it's basically a premium Mustang with a few more added things, I mean, it's very cool, as you can see. I mean, the seats are very nice. It's actually extremely comfortable. For being a not so inexpensive race car type car, it is definitely comfortable, to say the very least. It's actually a lot more comfortable than my car, but again, I have coilover suspension, and this is on just springs and then some other suspension work. So one thing I didn't like about this car at first was how short the throws were, and I don't believe that this is the stock. Sorry, I don't think that this is an aftermarket short shifter. I believe this is stock, and the throws are tiny, and it's super hard to find which gear you're in at first. But obviously, I'm used to it. I definitely just popped that little guy open right there, pop you back into place. But yeah, I have absolutely loved driving this thing. The downshifts are incredible. It is definitely fast. There we go. And this thing just wants to go. This thing makes about 550 or so to the wheels right now. It's on the stock blower, but he used to have a bigger Kenny Bell blower on it, and it made, I want to say, around the 700s, I think. That's to the wheels. So to the crank, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and try and make up numbers in my head, but he made 700 or so to the wheels, maybe less, maybe more. I can't remember exactly. But he had this. He actually took this to TX2K, which, as many of you know, is an event where lots of people go very fast. You basically, if you don't have a car that's 600, 700 horsepower, they laugh at you and say LOL. But yeah. This car has been a TX2K. It has been very well built. Basically, I think he gave it to this company in Florida, he said, that builds Mustangs, and they tuned it and they built it for him. And he's got custom exhaust work. As you can tell, it has a beautiful sounding exhaust with very little drone, so it's an easy car to drive. And yeah, it sounds beautiful, it looks beautiful. He has a great set of wheels on it. I don't remember exactly what they are, but he researched for months and made the perfect wheel and tire combination without having to roll his fenders, so that he wouldn't have to roll his fenders, but also not rub or anything like that as well. But it's very wide. I mean, he's got some very, very wide, some good tires on the back. All right, now we don't have anybody in front of us, and we are about to go ham on this road. This thing likes to pull. And I definitely love the sound of that supercharger. It is nice. That was in 4th gear. I mean, I just got up to about 70 miles an hour real quick, just in 4th gear. Not even a big gear. That was a good downshift. Man, I just love the way these downshifts sound. So yeah, I mean, I've apexed a few corners. There's actually one, the place we just came from, we were going down. It's just a bunch of switchbacks, and this thing ate up those corners, and it actually didn't really want to give in and lose traction, which was nice, because when this thing does lose traction, it wants to lose traction. But it's a great car. I mean, it handles very well, but again, this car definitely does better in a straight line. It is fast going onto the highway, and the cool thing about it is, because it's supercharged, coming from being turbocharged, the feeling of turbo is warp speed, back in the chair, and then shift like that. With the supercharger, you have instant boost, but along with that, you have instant power from the V8. So the V8's already big. It's a 5.4 liter, so it's not even like your standard Mustang GT. It's a big motor. But on top of that, you have instant boost. And I think I've hit about 11 pounds of boost or so. I can't remember. I was reading on that earlier. Usually when I'm all in, I am looking in front of me because I'm making sure that nothing happens. So Yeah, this car is incredible to drive, especially when we get on the highway. I will definitely punch it for you guys. And it just gets up to speed. But kind of like what I was trying to say earlier, but I kind of got off topic like I always do. I love this because the type of fast that it is it's not so much throw you back in your seat, you know, feel the G's, even though you do. It's more along the lines of just, it's very smooth. And because you have instant power, you don't have to wait for a turbo to kick in and then be thrown back into your seat. You just go. You just go. You downshift and you go. And also a thing that I love about this car is the power band is so incredibly large. Coming from a car like what I drive, my Subaru's power band doesn't start till about 3,500 RPMs and it ends at about 6,500 RPMs. I could be going 2,000 RPMs and I could be getting power in this thing, and I can go all the way up to 5,500 or 6,000 RPMs, and that'd be perfectly fine. It's very cool, especially considering that I am used to driving such an incredibly different car. It's very cool that I'm able to do this and kind of just see the difference between what a very, very powerful car is compared to mine, and also just the different types of power. There's so many different types of power out there that it's just crazy to be able to compare them, and I love being able to drive this car for a day. It has been amazing. But a little bit more about Scott. So he actually owned two Supras before this car. He had a 94 and a 97. And a 2JZ swapped SC300, and I mean, that's pretty dang cool. So he was obviously a little bit of an import guy. If you were to ask me, because obviously I lean more towards the imports, I would absolutely prefer an import, a boosted import or anything like that over this one any day. But that doesn't make this car any worse. This is an amazing car, like I've said. Words can't express how much fun I've had in this car. It is amazing and so much fun to drive. Now we're getting around some faster corners. So it really just wants to grip. Granted, I've got like 295s in the back. It just really wants to go, and it's such a nice feeling. And man, I just love being able to just hit the throttle and then instantly just go without having to wait for anything. And the car has no problem just trying to turn. Like, there's no issues with being able to turn. It's, you know, I've never been a Mustang fan in the past. I mean, I'm still not really a Mustang fan, but this car, I at least understand. I have a feel for them because this car handles exceptionally well in comparison to some of the more recent, in comparison to the lesser recent American stereotypes, this car handles very well. And I can tell you personally that this car is not meant to just go in a straight line. It does enjoy turning, but at the same time, this car definitely enjoys going in a straight line more than it does turning, if you ask me. But this is still a very fun car to drive. Now, what I've really enjoyed about this today is I have never been able to experience a rear-wheel drive car. I have always driven front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. So the difference in the power application in a car like this is incredible, and it's so cool. And of course, there are like 3 slow cars ahead of us right now. The difference in the power application is so cool. I've never been able to drive a car that's so tail happy. Never been able to drive a car that's putting 100% power to the rear. And it's a great feeling. And I know a lot of you already know what that feels like, but for me, in comparison to driving an all-wheel drive Subaru all the time, every day, all day, it's a very cool experience. And does this make me more of a fan of rear-wheel drive? Absolutely. In fact, I've always been a good fan. I've always been a fan of rear-wheel drive, but this definitely makes me want a rear-wheel drive much more. Even though the all-wheel drive is very useful, and it does handle very well. I know my car in particular, at least it might be just the way I've set it up, but I actually enjoy the cornering and handling of my car a lot more than this one. But then again, I need to drive both, and I need to make a pretty good comparison to say something like that. But I'm not saying anything bad. This car is incredible. If you take away one thing from today, this car is incredible. And the AC works extremely well. Haha, it's pretty great. So yeah, as I was saying earlier in regards to the gearbox, it's like right now I'm in 5th gear. First off, this entire gearbox right here is probably 2.5, maybe 3 inches wide. So my first thought is, how in the world are you fitting 6 gears and a reverse into 3 inches of space? My first gear, and the difference between my first gear and my reverse is probably 3 inches, just in throw alone, and I love it. I actually enjoy, I've personally owned short shifters, and having a longer throw, I actually enjoy a lot more. And I can shift just as fast. Actually, I can shift faster with a longer throw, which a lot of people get confused about. But the more you drive, I think the more people realize longer throw isn't always a bad thing. But yeah, as you can see, like, I just went from 4th to 5th, and it was like nothing. Plus, these gears are so close together, if you somehow venture and go into neutral, you're like, oh crap, am I going into 3rd, or am I going into 1st, or am I going into 5th? I have no idea. And I mean, I've driven many other cars with manual, and I've never had that problem before. So, I mean, granted, now I'm used to it, but it's really tough to get used to at first, and it's really weird as well. But that's probably, I mean, aside from that, and I know I'm comparing it a lot to my car, but this car is great. I really, that's probably the only thing I would have to complain about this car. Other than the fact that most of its features are fairly basic. It has an amazing stereo system. I would show you, but YouTube would ban me. Not really ban me, but they would not have a good time. I mean, it's all around. It's such a nice car. Again, like, cars like this aren't supposed to be comfortable, and this car is very, very comfortable. I don't think I can complain. The gas mileage is not awful. I mean, I've driven 120 miles today, and I'm at a little below half tank. So, I mean, not too shabby. I think I'm in 6th right now. Yes, I am. I was in 6th. One thing that's kind of cool, actually, is, so 2 things that are kind of cool. On the tachometer, there's a red SVT that actually flashes at you once you get out of your power band, or once you need to shift, which usually means you're out of your power band. So that starts blinking at you. It's kind of like what my car does with the big red light, but it's a little bit different. It doesn't actually beep at you, which I've actually disabled the beep, but that's another story. And then on the actual speedometer, there is a, I don't know why they put this on there, but it is kind of cool. There is a little yellow arrow, and I keep on popping this dang thing up. That is my other complaint. No, I'm just kidding. There's a little yellow arrow on the speedometer that actually points up to whenever you need to upshift. Basically saying, hey, instead of using 12 miles a gallon, you could upshift and use 13 miles a gallon. So get into that, man. It just, I love the smoothness of the shifts too. Like, this car is a lot smoother starting off. Again, I'm all-wheel drive, so it's a little bit different. But this car is very smooth with downshifting, very smooth with shifting in general, and also very smooth at just starting off. Just coming from a dead stop, it's very easy to just get going. And it's a little bit different. I never noticed how much different it was in an all-wheel drive car to just start off and shift gears and everything, but it's a lot different in a manual all-wheel drive versus a manual front or rear-wheel drive car, just in that aspect. So, but yeah, I mean, this car is beautiful. It looks gorgeous. There's lots of snakes everywhere, lots of cobras. So you obviously know that you're driving a Shelby Cobra. Sounds amazing. Stereo's awesome. I mean, there's nothing really special about the interior, but I mean, come on. How many race cars do you know that have exotic interiors? There's not many. And man, this Subaru like Tribeca is passing. Here we go. I'm gonna pass. 3rd gear. Well, I didn't even get to go. Oh well, I thought we were gonna go ahead of this person, but never mind. Anyways, we'll be getting on the highway and you guys will be able to see that. You guys will be able to see that as well. But this trip today has been incredible, to say the very least. But it's been even cooler of an experience to be able to drive a car like this. I mean, I've never been able to even, I mean, I don't even think I've sat in one of these things before. And I'm driving one. So thank you so much to Scott, if you're still watching. Thank you so incredibly much for letting me drive your car, because I mean, it's been a very, very cool experience. But in my opinion, Scott, I think you should go import again. But that's just my that's my opinion. I don't know. That sound is definitely growing on me, but I don't love it as much as some people do. Like it's a beautiful sound. It's a beautiful sound. But I don't know. All right, so here we are. We are gonna get some water and not die. So here we go. We're at the gas station. All right, I got a bunch of water because I was thirsty. And now it's time to cruise back home. Oh man, okay, I'm good. Overall, I have had a ton of fun in this car. It's an amazing car. It's so much fun to drive. It's so fast, and it's such an easy fast to drive. It's not like an exhilarating, I don't really want to do that again type fast, because I don't know, it's such an easygoing car. I mean, it's like it wants to just go. And that's what I love about it. And the instant power and just the overall handling and just smoothness of the ride overall. Like the performance of the car altogether is amazing. I love this car. Does it make me more of an American muscle guy? Absolutely not. I still am not a huge fan. You know, and I know a lot of you probably hate me saying that, but uh-oh, here we go. Apparently we're doing some pulls, so I'm gonna go down into fourth. No, never mind, we're not doing pulls. Man, but I just love that I can be in the gas and all of a sudden have instant boost. Like, all of a sudden, like, boom, oh, 10 pounds right there, 10 pounds. When it would take me like, I don't know, it'd take me a few more seconds for me to do that in my Subaru. But man, anyways, this car is incredible. I have enjoyed this car so much. It's gonna be hard going back to my little Subaru, but still, I'm kind of actually a little bit excited about going back to my Subaru. So make sure you watch my next video, because I'll probably touch on that, the difference of me driving from this now to that. Because going from that to this, it probably wasn't that big of a deal, but now going back to my Subaru, it's probably gonna be like, dang, this is incredibly different. So I'll probably talk about that in my next vlog. Man, I just absolutely, I enjoyed this car so incredibly much, and I am so incredibly thankful that I got to take this out, because I know there's a lot of people that dream about being able to drive this car. And I'm so glad I was able to give my input and kind of review the car somewhat. It wasn't really a review, not really, but it kind of was in a sense. It was, like I said, it's more or less I'm just giving my opinion of the car. Hope my opinion was wonderful and you guys loved it. Anyways, I was gonna make a video either way today, but it was gonna be in my car instead of this. But man, I don't know many people in the world that would say, no, I would rather drive my little Subaru than your 700 horsepower GT500. Sorry. No, sorry. I have brain cells. So yeah, this has been awesome, especially that I just get to experience the absolute polar opposite of what I drive. It's very cool. So, I mean, I drive a Japanese import that's turbocharged and 4 cylinders, and now, today, I got to drive an American muscle 5.4 liter V8 that's supercharged. So I literally get to experience an entirely different spectrum of the car realm. So This was incredible. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I will try and make more videos like this in the future. Man, if I could get more people to let me borrow their cars, that would be incredible. All right, so apparently we're going. If you guys have not subscribed already, you probably should do that because, well, if you haven't subscribed, then that's pretty lame, and nobody likes to be lame. You want to be lame? No. Hit that subscribe button, and you will see more content like this. Maybe not me driving a GT500, but maybe something along the same lines. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, awesome. If you didn't enjoy this video, awesome. Don't watch it again. But thank you guys so incredibly much for watching. If you have any more recommendations or anything like that, if you have any questions in general for me in the comment section, please feel free to let me know. I'm always, most always, checking my inbox. I'm a very busy person nowadays with school and everything like that. So, but this was an incredible experience. Thank you so much again to my buddy Scott for letting me use his car for a day and just tear up some nasty roads for him. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next video. Man, I would love to take this car on a track. That'd be fun. I'd love to take my car on a track too. I like to take every single car in the world on a track, except for a Prius. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.